Howdy, everybody. Sorry we're a little bit late, but welcome to Season 2 of the Debauchery Circus campaign. It's exciting that we finally made it this far. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around the virtual table today are Brandie, Brie, John Jr., and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Now, we have some new content airing on Random Rhapsody every Wednesday now. Kyle Thomas from the Fab Five is streaming himself playing video games every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then I will also be doing a playthrough of Celasta, Crown of the Magister, from 7 to 10 p.m. Now you can keep up to date on everything we're doing by following us on Facebook at Random Rhapsody TV or on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Debauchery Circus. And we're back. So in last season, the Debauchery Circus had traveled a very long road from their first meeting in the town of Misthold to eventually Coltrast Keep. Along the way, they've encountered cultists experimenting on nature and necrotic magic, knights and orc warbands, a couple dragons in the mix, and a very strange, mysterious. I said that weird. And a strange mystery surrounding a young human boy named Edmund Coltrast. The circus's quest to return him to his ancestral home and to rid those lands of the evil that had overrun it took them on a long journey across the magically focused kingdom of Radagast, where this cult of the Dreamer experimented on fortifying undead abominations using nature-based magic and a relic from the fabled Dreaming Tree. Along their journey, the Debauchery Circus faced off against the dragons and monsters, scores of undead, and even a giant or two. The team made new friends, lost others, and eventually did manage to return to the town of Coltrast to face down a beholder named Veritude and his magically empowered knights once and for all. And while the team did suffer a loss or two along the way, their bravery and the commitment to their goals eventually saw them through to the end by restoring Edmund to his rightful place as Baron of Coltrast. And so, Debauchery Circus, while you did defeat the beholder Lord Veritude, Cameron had been disintegrated by an eye ray, and Blaznir had been petrified as well. In the time it took for Willow to skin and collect the carcass of the beholder, Ichabod gathered up Cameron's remains and collected up his magical gear so that he could give the rabbit folk a proper burial. Edmund, on the other hand, had other thoughts about what your group could do. And eventually, once you did return to the circus, or to the surface, you all met with Father Amos, the dwarven priest from the local Church of the Five, who is able to restore Blaznir from his petrification, and also directed your party to the nearby Druid Grove, where an archdruid was able to return Cameron to life once again. Though not quite in the body you once remembered. From there, you all returned to Coltrast, where the townspeople greeted you all as heroes, and Lord Edmund honored your efforts by naming you to his high council and gifted you with a mansion of Nynaeve Mandragor, one of the knights whom you had defeated and whom Ichabod kind of had a bit of a rivalry with. And that mansion is yours now, your own personal base, which is where you currently find yourselves here on this beautiful morning in Coltrast. But as you all stand there, gazing up at the 2.5-story Gothic stone mansion before you, a question comes to each of your minds. And that question is there a particular weapon, item, or whatever that your character longs to find? Anesthetic is in chat right now, throwing down some bits and wishing you all good luck. And as you can contemplate that thought, why don't we go ahead and start off with the man who is formerly known as Cameron, and tell us what particular weapon, item, or whatever do you long for?
Well, first of all, hi, Anesthetic. I would probably say that I'm going to try and see about getting something to make myself more personable. But considering his new outlook on life, I think most likely Corin might be in the market for a new spellbook. Something to allow him to act a little bit differently, I guess, in terms of how he approaches situations.
Okay, interesting. Anesthetic is giving Shokan her inspiration. She's our Patreon member who kind of hangs out with us a lot. So Shokan, or now it's Kara, I think it is. Caia. It's now Caia. You've got that inspiration for the day. Who knows if you'll need it or not, but we'll see.
Thank you, Anesthetic.
Okay. Blaznir, why don't you go next?
Yeah, okay. Sure. I think the one thing Blaznir's wanting right now is just something to buff his wild shape in some way. Whether it be, somehow getting more uses of it, or longer, or something of that sort.
Okay. I dig it. Willow, how about you?
Willow is looking forward to seeing if someone can make her hidden blade. That's what she's really wanting.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see. You do have some time on your hands here moving forward. Shokan, how about you?
Well, Shokan doesn't want anything anymore, but Caia has heard tell of the scroll that you read from it once every 24 hours, and after that you can spend your key points to raise the dead or revivify people. Given our group's proclivity to land themselves in dire situations, she feels that would actually be pretty useful.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you never know. Things do exist out there. You never know what you might find. Maybe you should find somebody to ask about it.
And another really cool thing is, if I've been dead for 24 hours, it'll cast Reincarnate on me. Which is pretty awesome, too.
Powerful
Yeah,
scroll.
that seems really powerful. I don't know. We'll see. Ichabod, you're up next.
Well, I look at my whip, which I probably had for about 10 years, getting a little ragged. And then I look at Caia, and Caia has these +2 staff and the brass knuckles, and Willow's got that radiant sword, and I'm like, sure would be nice to have a cool whip that maybe did some radiant damage.
Interesting.
Need an upgrade.
Okay. I like it. Well, you never know what you might find out there, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, then, Debauchery Circus. You did say that you wanted to explore Sir Nynaeve's mansion before you all struck out to accomplish a few goals of your own. And that morning, you had spent the night after the banquet in Coltrast Keep. In the morning, Edmund handed you over the set of keys to it and told you where to find it, which is in the upper part of the town of Coltrast, inside the big stone wall there. He does also let you know that he has sent some of his servants to go through the other two mansions to see, anything that was left behind. And he does say that they've collected a few items that have been sent over to your mansion as well for you to look through. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. But before then, what are you all wanting to do first?
I mean, I guess we go inside.
Shall we head in?
Sounds fair.
This one isn't burning. That's great. I was worried, but yeah.
That is
anyway,
true. This one is not burning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one's talking, so I have to.
I'm just still admiring my new body and just kind of going, I'm so tall.
Vanity ain't a good look for you.
And it's an okay look for him.
I guess I just want to kind of walk around and search. Can I do like an investigation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's all pick up our rooms. Pick out our rooms.
Yeah.
What's that, Blaznir?
Let's all pick out our rooms. That sounds fun.
I'm gonna go look for whatever room has the biggest bed.
I'm going to do that as well, but I'm going to do it better.
So it sounds like Blaznir and Cameron goddamn, this is going to take me a while. Corin.
It's okay.
Is going to be heading upstairs to check out the bedrooms first thing. Ichabod, you're wanting to go and search through the rest of the mansion, see what's all in there. Willow and Caia, what are you two doing?
I want to say look for hidden passages.
Okay, I like it. Go ahead and make investigations, both Ichabod and Willow. Show goddamn Caia, what are you doing?
I mean, I just kind of want to do a general checking out the place. See, it's our new house. I want to find out what cool things it has. What interesting passages, interesting rooms. Maybe there's some cool stuff that was left behind since the last person got, evicted suddenly from the.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying they got evicted from life.
So, since Caia is helping out you, Ichabod, go ahead and roll with it advantage. The two of you together. Whoever wants to roll that.
Yeah, I'll let you roll it. I get a +0, but I want to point out I want to pay special attention to any like religious kind of iconography, because I know in Port Leon's house we found the statue of Toviar, so I want to see if there's a god that maybe Nynaeve has aligned herself with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides Lord Veritude, of course.
Oh,
Are you wanting me to roll the investigation?
Oh yeah, I get a +0, so if you get anything at all.
I get +3. That's better than 0.
Blaznir, I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh yes, what?
With your elegant mastery of fire magic, do you think it would be possible to make a bathing tub that, upon making it magical, would automatically heat itself to whatever degree we wished?
I could do the heating. I will not do the water. But yeah, I can probably. Honestly, I can just throw fire under the thing and it heat up.
Oh, making stew.
No. I'm trying to see if he can make us a magic hot tub.
It would take a bit to, it could literally just be like a copper basin with a bunch of water that I cast heat metal on. That would probably do it. I could enchant, I suppose. I don't know how long it would take.
We can discuss it later. Just something I wanted to put into your mind.
Yes, I'm gonna find the best room though. So I'm just saying goodbye.
Want whatever room is far, far away from everybody else's room.
So I like feel free to just kind of move your token around and see the different rooms in this place, because you do have a few different areas. But while you're doing that, Shokan or Caia, you and Ichabod had started looking through the various rooms in this lower area. First of all, the ground floor of the mansion. Now, your search eventually does lead you to an office and to a library. And inside the library, where I positioned you, Ichabod, you do find a small shrine inset in one of the shelves, like very out in the open. Like, have you ever seen Japanese shrines? How it's like a big cabinet and you open it up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You opened it up, and with the 21 that the two of you rolled, You do find, first of all, that another smaller idol depicting a tree with a door in the center with an eye looking out of it. This one is made out of silver. And it has a lot more skulls and dead bodies and skeletons around the base of this of the statue. So it's much more dark and gothic looking. Like it's a different representation than what you've seen, but you've actually seen like 3 or 4 different representations of this tree, but all of them do seem to have the same concept, which is the giant tree, the door, and the big eye searching out from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the first thing you find. Now, in the office itself, you do find a sack of coins, mostly gold and silver. In total, worth about 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay, and I give him the shush motion, and then I give him 500 gold pieces.
You and Shokan, or you and Caia. Gotcha.
And then I go, "This one's just for us, brother."
Caia just kind of looks down at it. Looks at Ichabod.
They're all getting the best bedrooms. I think it's only fair.
Caia shrugs and just pockets it.
A bonding moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corin, I believe I heard money somewhere.
Nope, you're upstairs.
You're upstairs.
Just wait until you get paraded through the square.
I'll get through the two of you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
There is an upstairs I can show you. But anyway, you also find a journal written by Nynaeve. In what languages do the two of you speak?
Oh, let me see. It's too much. Common, Sylvan, Abyssal, and Celestial.
Human and human.
Human, English, and American.
Anesthetic is saying in chat, a metal tub, more like adventurer soup.
Crispy.
Yep.
And
Caia, what languages do you speak?
Aquan, Common, and Dwarvish.
Okay, so this is this journal is not in a language you guys recognize.
I make a check to see if I can identify by the lettering what language it might be.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm so intelligent. You already know. 15.
15.
Not bad.
It seems a very dark and strange, undercommon kind of language.
See?
Time that would leave a bad taste in your mouth when you speak it.
Indeed.
I mean, that's any other language for him.
It's not quite dark enough to be abyssal. So it's in that in between. I guess I'll keep the journal. and show it to my friends later. See if any of them can speak.
Oh
it.
yeah, your friends.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, friends, not brothers.
I'm going to cut in because I said the wrong one. It's not undercommon. It is deep speech specifically.
Deep speech.
Yeah, that's
the
a bit
language
different.
of the average.
I had to look it up real quick, but it's deep speech.
A bit different, much more gross.
Journal. Deep speech. Okay.
Okay. As far as that, as you're going through the rest of the house, you do see there's some ritual implements in with the tree motif shrine that you found, but she lives actually fairly simply. On the ground floor, there is a foyer with a fountain in it. There is a hall. There is a front room. There is a kitchen and a very large dining room with quite a few tables in it, as though this is set up for banquets and things like that. And then there is the back area, and you do have quite a bit of grounds throughout here. So I'll go ahead and show you the second floor, just so you can see this. Since I had these maps,
Who's this feller by the stairs?
It's actually just a fairly typical statue of a woman, draped about her with like a flowing robe that makes her feminine features stand out very much while still being clothed. And she has a hood drawn up over her head.
But it's just like artistic. It's not to represent.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting. The face itself, completely blank, except there's a slit going from the top to the bottom in the dead center.
I don't.
Sounds like it might hide something secret.
All right, I stare at the statue.
It is just a statue. It is actually just a statue. You can probably spend an hour sitting there searching it, trying to feel, and there's nothing hidden on it.
It's definitely not Ilmentress.
It is definitely not Ilmentress.
Okay, she is not of split loyalty like Port Leone was.
This is actually a reference to the PM game. They've encountered a being like this along their search with the cult. So that's really all this is. But as you head upstairs to the second floor, the layout is fairly similar to the layout in Port Leone's mansion. As you walk around, you do find that there are 5 bedrooms in here in total. All of them have bathrooms, and all of them have closet space of some type, though the size and the shape of them is very different. In the upstairs, you also find a kind of a game room that's set up, benches and a table and chairs, things like that. There's also 2 very large potted sculptures, just big long bins filled with dirt and plants, flowers that are grown in them. There are very large windows all along all 3 sides of this room.
Is there any way that you can just give us full view of the map to make it a little easier?
Yeah, if you want me to.
Sure.
I mean, I see no reason to keep parts of it dark.
Yeah, it's not that secret anymore. We own the thing.
All right, there's this teeny tiny room up in the top right corner. I'll take it.
Okay,
Feels like home.
It should now show every room you've been in.
Let me put myself. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Like, drag yourself through them all. There you go.
Basically.
I just turned on Explorer mode that unlocks everything once you've seen it. Just to make it easier. And outside the walls, that's just the grounds below. There is a stairs that go up to the attic as well. I have not built the attic map because there's really nothing in there right now.
Yeah.
But if you ever want something, like I figured if you wanted to build like a magic laboratory or a training room or whatever like that, that's the place you can do it.
Neat.
We gotta build that outdoor training room. Put a stable out there for my horse.
You could certainly do that as well.
My quote-unquote horse.
Anesthetic saying, Ichabod is my fave. I'm a fangirl.
Tip my hat to you, pretty lady.
Ichabod fanfiction. It's next in line.
I'm just a simple man doing simple things.
So I guess
So
I'll
if
take
you-
this one down here.
Yeah, if you all have now been able to see it, you can choose what rooms you want. And I'll even label it for you.
Blaznir really did find the best room. There's a fireplace.
I mean, for him, yeah, because it's got a fireplace.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
You know, I've got a nice little walkway to instantly go to the little viewing room over there. You know, with the window.
So Matt, one of the rooms has been split in half. This one that I'm in right now. There's a wall like right next to me on the left side, but the bed is like right here.
Oh, it's, you know what? It's because it still has the old.
Oh yeah, from the first floor.
Yeah, I'll fix it between now and next game.
Okay.
Damn, looks like you got the one with the tub too.
Yeah.
I just take sink baths with a wash rag.
Oh well.
A wash rag.
At least my bed looks to be bigger. So there's that.
I don't need a big bed, so you know.
Is it Corrin?
Nope, just one R. And then it's Hassan if you want my last name.
No, I was just putting first name so that everyone can see. Hey, that's my room.
Sure.
All good with those?
I'm gonna say immediately when I find my room, I'm gonna just start using my druidic magic to make it plant, like just sprout some plants up.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not.
And I'll just have that going throughout every time we come here. Just get a new plant in.
Well, just get with me later and tell me what things you want to add, like potted plants and anything you want taken away, and then I'll just put that in for you, and it'll look more like your room. You all can do the same thing too. You can just message me, hey, I want this in my room, and I'll put it in there for you. Because this is
I want a genie bottle in my room.
What's that?
I want a genie in my room.
No.
I want a shrine in my room.
That is easily doable.
And a little prayer rug.
I want traps.
I want $10 million.
What's a dollar?
I'm American now. Forgot.
What, so you're taking the Artificer as your next class level so you can use guns?
Yeah. So anyway, I started blasting.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
No, that's going to be my great-grandson.
Instead of a closet, can I have a meditation space?
Yeah, let's see why not.
Like, I would want it to be kind of all Zen garden, kind of, type of meditation.
Yeah, like I said, everyone message me privately later on. Just let me know what you want to put in there. I can easily do that for you. And then you'll have that for next session. As far as that, I do have one more map to show you right now. That's the basement.
Can I call dibs on the basement?
No.
But that's my bedroom. I'll put my bed in the corner. There's already a bed right there. It's perfect.
Oh, there's your hot tub down here.
Yep, I heard you saying you wanted a hot tub, so I just went ahead and put one in there for you.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
It is at least a stone pool of water with a fountain in it. Now, how you want to describe, you want to build it onto it, you just tell me. We'll add it to it, but yeah, you'll have it.
Strip down to my briefs, and I have those little like ankle garters that hold your socks up.
Nice.
I take those off and I fold them all in a neat pile and I get in the hot.
You do have some shelves on either side that you can all put your things on there. And there's also a couple of torches to illuminate. Anything you want to do with this space, it is yours to do with. That's just the junk that was in the bottom before then. But you can tell me what you want to put in here, how you want to use it. It is entirely up to you. The other side, that right there, that's the stairs going up to the backyard. You remember that's where you came down in Port Leone's mansion?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. And then the upstairs, the other one leads up, so on and so forth. So just let me know what you want to do with these. We'll go and we can do it however you want.
Cool.
Apart from that, let's see. Go ahead.
I think we should put a teleportation circle down here.
We
I know you said it was going to be expensive or whatever, but if we can pool our money and pay somebody to cast it.
I am going to cut in on that one before you guys talk any further. There is a teleportation circle in Coltrast Keep. You're never explored fully the keep when you were fighting. But during the few days that your group had been going through that, I forgot that I put it on the 3rd floor. But
neat.
Okay, cool.
But there is
then we don't have to
in there. Yeah, you don't have to do it. It is specifically attuned just as the Coltrast teleportation circle.
I can also use a giant tree as a teleportation circle at 6th level.
Okay, so put a tree down here.
Well, it can just be a tree in the courtyard. Like if it's big enough to.
I want to steal Lord Veritu's steeds and put some plants underground.
There is a gigantic tree in your courtyard.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll just keep that in mind.
Well, I say we just spend the rest of the day relaxing in the hot tub and setting up our rooms and getting comfortable.
Willow's over by the organ, so I automatically assume she's about to become the Phantom of Nynaeve's mansion.
I'll turn around. I'll turn the face, and I'll have a fake mask on my face. Dun dun dun.
Kai's gonna
call our mansion the Big Top.
Kai's gonna pop out and jump into the water so it warms up the area around him.
Oh yeah.
Ichabod, did you say you want to name the mansion the Big Top?
Yes, that was good. Thank you for acknowledging me.
I like that.
I approve.
I'm putting that on the bottom of your map.
Yeah.
Over here.
Because I was trying to think of something circus related.
Ichabod's being all like fancy and rolling up the clothing neatly and everything, and Corin's just taking his clothes off, just complete free balling.
Now that is one of my pet
full
peeves.
Nude in the hot tub.
Not the nudity. I mean, it is crass, but it's the throwing the clothes all over the floor.
I mean, he's not gonna be like that crass. He's gonna set him on a chair or something so that they don't get super dirty. But he's definitely not gonna be about the fold everything up neatly kind of deal.
I'm just gonna sit on the edge and kick my feet in the pool and just start writing in a notebook.
Ichabod was married once. And Corin was not.
Yep. He's only ever been married to his work so far.
Like to keep my work around as like a mistress. All right.
All right.
What are we on to?
Yeah, so that's what I was getting ready to ask y'all. Hanging out in the hot tub, having some good time. You can use this opportunity to do some role playing if you want, or if you have anything else you want to do. I know we can just kind of jump into the events of your downtime. It's up to you.
At some point, I would go through the various bookshelves in here and see if there's anything particularly interesting, but that's not something you have to handle now.
No, but I will ask: does anybody actually speak? Can read and write?
Oh yeah, I found this journal.
Yeah,
and it's in some kind of some dark language. Does anybody speak whatever this is? And I show it to them.
No, it's not Druidic, so that's pretty much the only weird language I know.
Anybody got something that like a spell you could cast or something?
Yes,
Make
but
this
actually no.
Is it something you can prepare? Because we could do the next day.
Yeah,
I would have to learn it first.
Oh, so you can. You don't know. Okay. Well,
but it's only a first level spell, so it would be easy for me to learn. I just have to learn it.
Well, we'll keep that in mind. I don't think I've got anything.
Wait. I can do a bard spell. Give me a second. I can cast comprehend languages. Oh my god. No, spoken language. No, wait, understanding written language, never mind.
Yeah, you just have to be touching the surface.
Yep, I can read that.
Don't dip it in the water, alright? Hold it up high. But
okay,
if you can...
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, is that I could have sworn one of you had it, but anyway.
I didn't realize I had it. I was looking through druid spells to see if they got it. Not hard.
No.
Well, you would have had to do this the next day, but that's okay.
We're back in the hot tub again the next day.
In the hot tub. You're just back in the hot tub the next day, just chilling.
I just have that spell, so it's the same day.
Oh, okay.
The bards don't prepare spells.
Yeah.
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 Oh, you have it as a bard?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gotcha. Okay, well, cool. Well then, using your comprehend languages spell, you do start reading through the book, and a lot of it details the act. It's basically an account of what the cult has been doing here in Coltrast. According to the journal, the cult of the Dreamer has been a very underground movement for thousands of years. Nynaeve describes how they encountered her, they came and found her and recruited her first, taking her to see a being that she described as a witnesser of dreams and a guardian of the past. She describes meeting with this being and her increased devotion to the cult. Since all of you are reading, since Blaznir is sitting here reading this to everyone as you're all sitting in the hot tub, anyone who wants to can kind of make an insight check.
Oh yeah,
I would love to.
I'm good at that.
I got a 24.
I got a 22.
I got a 17. I'm not the greatest.
Yeah.
That's 9.
Ichabod and Corin, you two do pick up as you're reading the first part of this journal, but unfortunately you're the only two who picked up on this, is that at the beginning of the journal, it more sounds like she's just kind of vaguely interested, like imagine how Tom Cruise originally was when he first learned about Scientology, and then remember how Tom Cruise was after getting really into Scientology. Like that sudden shift was really quick in this journal, and you do pick up the fact that at first it was just mild interest, but after meeting with this witnesser of dreams, the devotion became a lot more intense.
Not to insult my former self, but she fell down the rabbit hole.
Indeed, she did. From there,
Can anybody being this fanatical about a religion of any sort? Anyway, continue, Blaznir.
The journal continues onward, talking a lot about how she became involved and became a member of the Star Knights and was sent to work for Lord Veritude, who really isn't the head, but kind of a middle head of one branch of the cult. The cult is, as you're reading the journal, you kind of get the impression that there's two major factions within this cult. One of whom seems to be more focused on obtaining relics to reverse the destruction to begin with, though it doesn't really explain how. While the other group, the one that Veritude was, and consequently the Star Knights were, are more focused on trying to grow a new great tree, and a desire to bring back their leader, this great wisdom she refers to many times, but also just spelled dreamer with a capital D. She describes how Veritude came into possession of several of these relics called dream seeds, and was beginning to experiment with them, trying to figure out a way to awaken the magic inside them. Two seeds were sent away, while he kept the third. One was sent to Mistspire Peak, which your group had initially encountered when you were there for the festival. And
is that the one that we have? Because we have that extra one.
You have the ones that are embedded in your body.
And then Blaznir has one.
The second one, the second one was sent to a place just outside of Dusk Hollow to use it as an experiment to see how effective these zombies were.
So it says that Veritude had kept one of them. Did we recover that one?
You have not. You have not seen a dream seed since you've been here. Now from there, Nynaeve's journal kind of starts going into more the description of how Veritude, the imposter Veritude, Garrett is his actual name, Garrett Sandar. I think that was his name. Let me look at it real quick.
It was definitely Sandar.
Yeah, Garrett Sandar. Yeah, Garrett, Garret. Anyway, it goes on to describe how the Star Knights had that Veritude had hired the Red Tusk Orcs to get him into Coltrast Keep, or at least get his Star Knights in there, and Garrett was sent as well to murder the Coltrast family so that they could take it over. Garrett Sandar had apparently spent the last several years becoming friends with Edmund's father, and apparently, according to the notes, she does mention that the two of them had known each other as children as well, though she wasn't really clear on how or why. She does mention how he used that influence to become, Edmund's godfather, all the children's godfather, and just that friendship grew as Edmund's father ruled over Coltrast, and eventually how he hired the Red Tusk orcs to get him in there, and the plan was to murder everyone. Well, when the Red Tusk orcs saw that, they realized, what was going on. They had been led to believe that they were doing something completely different, and so seeing children slaughtered, they're like, "Nah, I'm not dealing with that." And so they had left and kidnapped Edmund, and you know the story of Edmund and the orcs from there.
Yeah.
It then details Veritude being brought in, which was, according to the journal, very difficult and had to have been done under the cover of darkness. And Veritude installed himself into Coltrast and then started forcing the servants and all the people of Coltrast through the use of his militia and the Star Knights to start digging a tunnel from the crypt down. Nynaeve mentions how she wasn't sure what it was they were searching for, only that Veritude said that it was important and it was necessary to their cause. And then eventually it does describe how after over a year of work, they eventually came into that chamber filled with trees. And they started setting people to work to excavate more of the dream root, the giant petrified root that's in there. And how they were working to extract it, and Veritude was using it, he said, to commune with the master.
Okay.
But Nynaeve never saw much more. She was never really down there to see what it is he did. However, once you did eventually go searching through all of the other the things that were left over from the other mansions, you do find a couple more journals that tell basically the same story from Sir Morden Bendleton's perspective, from Rickton Talavor's perspective, and from Bedeman Grendel's perspective. Each one has a bit of a different account, but they're all very similar of how they were approached by the Cult of the Dreamer, brought in. Each one of them does talk about how they met with this witnesser of dreams, and along similar circumstances. In Grendel's journal, he does describe how the beholder would wrap its eye stalks around the exposed root after all of this, the townspeople had been left for the day. How he would go down there alone. Grendel went down to observe and saw the beholder wrapping his eye stalks around the root and closing his giant eye and then muttering, talking. He didn't get a whole lot of the perspective, but because he really couldn't understand what was being said, but he believed that Veritude was communing directly with the Dreamer, the Great Wisdom.
Okay.
He details finally that the remaining knight, the one who had been sent out, Rickton Talvor, he was sent out to find 2 more dream seeds.
What is Morden was the bow guy, and I have him listed as away.
Oh, sorry. Rickton was the one who was in charge of the army. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Bendleton was the one who was tasked with going out and finding 2 more dream seeds.
So Bendleton is still alive, and Talbor is still alive, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And Garrett Sandar is still alive.
Yeah. Does he say anything about that mission that Bendleton went on, like where he was going? It's like he's going to find more dream seeds. Did they have an inkling of where he should search? Or if he just like go out there and see if you can.
Yeah, the journal itself only basically said something about the fact that he was sent out to find the seeds. It didn't have an actual destination. It does, however, mention interest to the south. I'll give you that much. Interests to the south.
All right. Well, thank you, Blaznir, for that story time. It's very compelling.
Yeah. You know, do you think we could talk to the dreamer?
I think I would rather not.
That's probably a bad idea, but like, or that's probably like.
I'll tell you, when I put my hand up to that root, I felt as if it were looking back at me. So if we could talk to the dreamer, I would love that. I don't like the idea of the dreamer looking in my mind, and based on what Nynaeve says in this journal, it kind of sounds like she meets with Veritude, and then Veritude does some mind stuff, and then she's like,
"Yeah, no, but that's not good." But I was just thinking, like, if we could talk to Dreamer, then we could be like, "Hey, are you good or bad?" And then they'd probably say it's good because everyone thinks they're good.
Pretty clearly bad, right?
I mean, what does he want? Like, what, a giant tree could here? Like, I don't understand the goal of this cult. I'm not gonna lie.
A tree that engulfs the world, choking anything and everything from it.
I mean, it sounds like we got to do some more research on our history, right? They say that this tree used to exist, so there's got to be some tale of what it was like when it was existing and what the world was like when it was existing. So whatever it is, they want to bring that back.
But considering Cameron's visions, because he has those, you say that it engulfs the world and suffocates it, right, Cameron?
Yes, essentially.
Then, like, what's the point? Did they just not realize that it's going to happen like that, or
maybe they think they're going to get to go to another better world?
Well, you get to do that when you die anyway.
That is very true, my brother.
Like,
I don't want to see the kind of world they want to bring about.
No.
This.
You know what? I'll tell you what. So I've been tinkering with spells, and if I were to get something, I could see. I could kind of see if talking to dreamers is a really good or really bad idea. But
yeah.
I need a specific deck. There's a deck of cards I've been wanting to get. It's pretty much just my own design of things, but I could,
All right. Well, I suggest, as long as it's not, I don't know, some kind of weird witchcraft, which is what it sounds like, or you're not.
Oh, it's definitely witchcraft. It's kind of just
okay. Well, I'll pretend like I didn't hear that. I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear that, and you can just continue doing whatever you're going to do, and if it helps us, then sure.
Have you ever heard of tarot cards?
Never in my life.
Okay. It's kind of like that.
I believe Fontaine was a fan of such things.
Yeah, no, I've gotten the idea from Fontaine. Like, I saw her use those little things to tell fate and stuff, and I've been kind of interested in trying that.
Fontaine would be like, "This tree is awesome. I love this tree." Probably the good guys.
Jedi Slayer 420's in chat saying, "Dear Mr. Dreamer, are you nice?"
I mean, it's a good way to tell if anyone's nice. Like, if they say no, then they're obviously not nice.
Dear Mr. Dreamer, please bring me a pony for Christmas.
Anyway, is there any good card makers in the town?
Here?
Well,
I
isn't
would
somebody going
suggest
to
you
be
probably
heading
go to the city.
Yeah, who's going to be going to Northimia? I got some orders to send with you.
I will be going there.
All right. I give him both of my long swords. I would like you to find somebody to combine these two. And then I give him all the dragon skills. except for the one that he carved. I keep that one. I keep it in my pocket because I think.
I'm gonna go with.
All right, you carry these dragon scales and get that turned into some horse armor. That will magically disappear when my horse disappears because he is a spirit. So.
Can we get everything you wanted written down?
Yeah, I write it down for them.
We'll allow Ichabod's voice to kind of come in and dictate what it is she was looking for, or he was looking for when you get there.
Matt,
Yes.
at some point, I know he's busy, like, learning new things and whatever. I am going to see if it is possible, since there is a teleportation circle, if it is possible for Edmund to get permission for us to use it to go to Northimia.
Edmund's the boss.
Well, I mean, you have permission to use his because
okay.
you can do whatever you want.
Right, but we'd have to get permission from the king.
So you're wanting Edmund to send a letter to the king to ask him to use what teleportation circle?
Oh, never mind. If we'd have to send a letter, then it would defeat the purpose.
I mean, it's going to get.
Do any of you have a way?
Anyway.
Yeah. Do any of you have a way to communicate long distances?
I think I have Animal Messenger. If that probably wouldn't do it though.
That's why it's not instant, unfortunately. That does take several days.
No, I don't think so. That's okay.
I don't think I have sending, so.
That's all right.
Does catapult to an animal count? Because then his little animal speak could be flying a couple thousand feet.
Couple thousand feet ain't gonna get that to Northimia, so.
But Corin,
well, we'll do it a couple times.
You can study the teleportation circle here at Coltrast, and you can use that to teleport back anytime you want.
Sweet.
Teleportating to places, you have to know a location that has one.
Oh, I do know the location. We would just have to have permission to use it, is the thing.
Correct, yes. So do you have a way to ask for permission for that or anything like that?
Not at the moment, though.
It won't take that long to get there anyway. Like, honestly,
that's fair.
Fine.
Yeah,
I'm coming with you, by the way.
Enjoy yourself.
I've got a couple things I want, so I'm coming with you.
Okay. So who is going to Northimia?
I was gonna go too because I have some shopping to do. I feel like, didn't you say that's where I would need to do my shopping?
If you're wanting magical gear, yes, you would go to Northimia.
So I think it's everybody but Ichabod then.
Okay, so Ichabod, you're going off on your own?
Look at them all, and I go, as I kind of told y'all back when we were drinking all that whiskey, I'd really like to go see if I can, see my sons again, and hopefully my wife too, and she's not too mad, and I'll let y'all know what becomes of that, and maybe if you come back here and you get too bored, you can come see the port with me. It might be nice over there, so.
Okay.
Do we have horses?
You all do have horses.
Yeah, we have horses.
Corin has a pony.
But I would have a draft horse.
I'm going to get Edmund to see if he can swap me out so that my poor pony is not having problems.
Yes, he probably can. There are all of the war horses of the knights that you killed are actually there.
Oh, well, then I'm taking one of those.
And
please.
I'm going to take whichever one looks the fanciest.
I give Corin a quick riding lesson.
Probably need to. You are going to be, anytime you have to roll an animal handling on that animal, since it's so big and so different, and you are so disproportionate
small and weak.
Now. Yeah, and you're a lot bigger than you used to be. So you're going to be rolling any animal handling on him with disadvantage.
Okay.
If it comes up.
Sure. Are any of the horses white?
Sure.
I'll take the white one then.
All of them are white, or they can be whatever color you want.
I'll take the sole white horse.
Anyone who doesn't want a war, there are 3 war horses that you can choose from. And if anyone wants to swap out their draft horse for a war horse or a riding horse, Edmund will do so for you.
I will take a warhorse because that sounds cool.
I'll take a warhorse as well. I feel they'd be able to handle me, right? My weight.
Probably.
Like I don't want to hurt the poor thing.
I'm sure
I'll
it
take
would.
just a regular riding horse so everyone else can get the warhorse.
I'm at least gonna make sure my pony goes to a good home.
I mean, Edmund will trade them with you.
Oh, okay,
like,
sure.
You can trade them in the stables and that sort of thing. If you're really worried about who it goes to, you can. It's up to you.
So yes,
in the
warhorse.
journal, you do have all the different horses now.
Cool.
Not that it's going to affect a whole lot, but you never know. But anyone who wants a riding horse can have a riding horse. Anyone who wants a war horse can have a war horse. There's at least 3 of them, so.
Yay.
And there's plenty of riding horses in the stables as well. So anyway, once your group kind of gathers up and takes care of all that, it probably takes about a day of preparations. Going out, getting whatever rations you might need for the trails, any other generic items from the general store, that sort of thing you can do. Probably check in with Edmund, and I'm sure Edmund has asked Corin for help a couple times in the subsequent days, just going over facts and figures and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, as your group is doing these preparations, I imagine your group's probably back at the mansion by this point, having dinner or doing that sort of thing.
We're having dinner, but it's in the hot tub.
You're still in the hot tub? I was going to put you on the ground floor, but anyway, I'm not. It's not. We're doing this theater of the mind. There is a knock at your door.
Willow, can you get that?
Do we have servants yet?
You have not hired any servants or anything like that. You can if you want to.
Nah.
I'll put on.
Willow's gonna go open the door, and she's gonna put like a face that's all scraped up and just horrific looking Freddy Krueger face on her face to open the door.
Oh Lord!
The specific reason I asked Willow to do it is so that they would open the door to a pretty feminine face.
Yeah, and instead they get scarred up, horrific-looking burn victim face. As you open this door, you see a somewhat average height dwarf with a long red beard, very bushy and puffed out, and wearing a big metal cap. With lenses and goggles over his eyes. He's carrying a gigantic pack, a huge backpack filled with all sorts of random things. You can see like pots and pans hanging off the back and a big pole hanging out one side. And he's decked out in some pretty terrific looking armor. And he's kind of looks up at you and is like, "What the fuck?"
Oh. Just because it's hilarious to think about, has Willow grown a beard yet?
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah, Willow gets
it's been a couple days.
Great big bushy beard.
Willow just can, yeah. I'm just gonna be like, what? Do I have something on my face?
Don't be rude to our guest. Who is it?
Hold on one second. Let's see.
It says it's a 50% chance.
Yeah, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn. So, Willow, I'm going to ask you to roll a D100, probably, let's do it 3 times. And you tell me, do you want above 50 to be beard or below 50 to be beard?
We're going to say above 50.
Above 50 is beard. Okay. Roll a D100 3 times, and let's see what kind of beard you got so far.
Close.
Nope. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Willow, as she's putting her face out and all Freddy Krueger like, she has probably some odd looking stubble kind of poking out from it.
Not to ruin everyone's fun to this, since I'm a changeling, can't I just get rid of it? Because I can change my hair.
I don't
appearance.
know. It's
Well,
because
so
of
here's
being
what you can do. In any other body you're in, you could consciously try to suck it in because you are a changeling. But in your normal, your actual true form, every day you're gonna have an actual beard be growing.
Yeah, like a full beard.
A smooth, amorphous thing.
So
Plus, once you have one, then it just potentially grows thicker every day.
Mm-hmm. And it's you have to consciously pull it back, otherwise it's going to be out.
yeah, I'm just going to consciously never have one. But no, right now, yeah, I just want to look scarred as fuck and just be like, what, do I have something on my face?
I'm gonna walk up and see what's going on.
Hold on a second, Corin.
Sure.
The dwarf kind of looks back and he's like, yeah, looks like you put your face in a fireplace and just left it there. Jesus Christ, is this the home of the Debauchery Circus?
Yeah,
I'm listening at the door.
My name is Cameron.
Hold on a second.
I walk out with fire on my hand.
Hold on a second.
It's so complicated.
Yeah.
Just say hello and who are you?
So do me a favor, guys. Like, wait your turn when you're trying to talk. If you hear somebody talking, give them a second to take a breath and then cut in. And everyone who is talking, remember to take that breath. That way your friends can cut in when they want to join in as well. So he says that to her. At the same time, Blaznir, you said you were standing behind.
I'm just walking through the door now with fire on my hand.
You're just walking through the door with fire in your hand?
Yeah, I was just playing a joke. I'm joining in.
Okay, you're walking past and you have fire in your hand, and the dwarf kind of is looking like, what the hell? And he reiterates again, is this the Debauchery Circus's residence? I was told you all there. And then, Willow, you said, yes, my name is Cameron. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Cameron Hawthorne?
Yes.
Well, this has gone a lot easier than I thought. I thought I was going to have to, well, okay. Yes, my name is Granton Flint Whistle. I'm from the Institute Arcanum. The Magisterium has sent me to bring you to Northimia.
Okay, 1 second. I'll scream Cameron as loud as I can. Like, I'll press anticipation on my voice to get it louder and say, Cameron, you have a guest.
It's not good.
Ow! That's my ear. You don't have to scream your name. You're standing right here in front of me.
I'm hearing the screaming.
Do we need to talk to the Lord here? I was hoping we could just make this quick. And he kind of rustles the things on his belt a little bit. Yes, Corin.
So I'm gonna walk up in like an open robe and a banana hammock. Do I recognize him?
Let's see. What would this roll be? Just go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Sure. 15.
You don't recognize this particular dwarf, but you do notice that there is a badge on his armor, on the buckle of his backpack, and you recognize him to be a member of the Spellblades. He's the badge he's wearing labels him as an investigator.
He's here to arrest him. Got it. We heard him screaming, right?
Yeah, you definitely heard the very loud scream. Cameron, you have a guest.
Okay.
And the dwarf is just like really, really confused. He's like, I was told that Cameron Hawthorne was a rabbit folk. He pulls this out, and you're not a rabbit folk. And now that I'm really looking at you, you don't even have the same size. Are you fucking with me? Who the hell are you?
Oh, well, walk up
We're
to
messing
him.
with you. We didn't know who you were.
Cameron Hawthorne is deceased, I'm afraid. He was disintegrated by the ray of a beholder and killed.
The dwarf is looking really confused now. Going between Blaznir holding fire, Willow, who just said that she was Cameron and then called for Cameron, and then this guy shows up and he's saying, Cameron, listen, and the dwarf kind of pushes the goggles up over his head, rubs his eyes really, really hard, and as he moves them away, you notice that one of his eyes actually looks metallic, like just a metal orb with a bunch of scratches and things inside of it. And both of them now focus on you, wearing a robe and a banana hammock.
Yep. And I do have my amulet on, because it matters.
And you have your amulet on. Which amulet is that?
Proof against detection and location, my good man.
Okay.
Immunity to divination spells, among other things.
He said, look, can I just come in? I'd really rather not
Yes.
do this on the doorstep.
If you would like, I may dress and take you to speak with Lord Edmund Coltrast, and he can explain the situation to you if you would like.
Yeah, I guess that would be best. And he's looking suspiciously at Blaznir and whatever form Willow currently is trying to be. This is official business. I'd prefer to deal with this as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Do I need to meet you all there? And he's kind of looking irritated.
Just give me a moment, and I will take you.
He kind of looks up, and he's like just shrugs, and he kind of pushes past you and makes his way into the foyer.
Yep.
I walk in with a plate of chocolate chip cookies that I just pulled out of the oven.
And just
Well, who is it?
And you do see the dwarf gadgeteer walking in there with his bag full of shit on his back, and a metal cap covered in little lenses and goggles and things like that.
Well, howdy, mister. I trust we've welcomed you well and with great hospitality.
Actually, no, not really. I assume this must be the Debauchery Circus's home, because
on that front, you are correct.
The two who greeted me, yeah.
Yeah, we're a circus day in, day out, even when we're at home, so that's why they're acting like clowns right now.
He just kind of.
I apologize. It's just.
Yeah, let me extend my heartfelt apologies for the behavior of my miscreant friends.
That's.
But
fine.
Corin here will. I'm sure he'll have a level head about him, and he can assist you. And if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen because I got another batch of cookies I'm putting in the oven.
Can I get a couple of these before you go?
Yeah, I give him a couple of cookies.
He takes a couple of cookies and
And
sits
those
at
are
a
my
table
own
and
special
munches.
recipes, so I can't guarantee the taste. It's a little different every time.
Just so you're aware, Matt,
Yes.
when I was meeting with Edmund, I would have mentioned my intention to leave my old identity behind.
Okay.
He's been debriefed on the lie.
Sure.
Just saying.
Well, did you specifically mention if somebody comes a calling, I'm dead?
Yes. I basically said Cameron
is dead.
died when the beholder killed him. Because, my whole body is new. I've got a new outlook on life. So,
Okay.
Basically just, Cameron died because the beholder killed him. And I came back and I wasn't Cameron anymore. So
The best lie is rooted in the truth.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yes, that one.
Okay. So I imagine you go up and get dressed, Corin.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna while they're doing that, the dwarf is just kind of hanging out there at the table. He munched on the cookies. He's like, "Don't suppose you have any stout beer?"
Sir, in fact, I do. Oh, I stocked this place up. I give him a stout.
And he sits there and drinks, and he's like, "These aren't too bad. The addition of cinnamon was a little weird at first, but it goes really well with this beer."
I'm trying something new, so I do appreciate the feedback. So I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, Granton Flitwhistle. I'm an investigator for the Magisterium in Northimia.
I see. My name is Ichabod Sykes. I'm a servant of the Father, and I shake his hand.
Yeah, he shakes your hand, and he seems more like, this is my job, this is what I'm here to do, kind of. That's the kind of vibe you get from this guy.
Yeah, I wanna kind of while he's here and I'm baking cookies and talking to him, I just kind of want to settle into the lie a little bit, because I want to be like, Cameron didn't talk to me too much about what happened between him and the Magisterium, but he was a good friend to me, and it was quite heartbreaking what happened to him. I mean, completely disintegrated to dust. I had to sweep him up with a broom.
That's what the other one mentioned. So you are confirming as well that Cameron Hawthorne is deceased.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it with my very eyes.
Has he been interred here in Coltrast?
In fact, it was against his will. He didn't want to be buried here. He wanted us to send him home.
And he had you notice that just this notebook kind of shoots out from his wrist, and he has a pen in his hand all of a sudden, and he's kind of writing this down. And where exactly did you say you sent his remains?
So I back myself into a corner. The only portal I know of that goes to the Feywild is in Golfrin. So I'll tell him we sent his remains to Golfrin.
And he writes this down as well. I'm going to have him roll an insight check here real quick.
All right, do I get to roll a deception?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, do I get advantage because... Yeah, can I get advantage because Corin was also telling the same lie?
Up the lie.
Yeah, we're all backing up the same lie.
Well, yes, you are backing up the same lie. The whole thing at the front door really put this guy on edge, and so he's kind of mistrusting right now. So I'm going to say no, you cannot have advantage.
But I can't have guidance.
I will allow the guidance. As Blaznir's walking over, he kind of slaps you on the back as he's casting the spell.
I look at Blaznir like, aren't you a bard too?
Would it help if I stand nearby and sniffle a few times, in reverence?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, what about that bardic inspiration?
Yeah. That's a bonus action. I can give it. How do I give it?
Oh, you have what?
Start performing a short poem about Cameron's life.
Honestly, it's really horrible what happened to Cameron. There's your bardic inspiration.
Well, I rolled a 17 on just, and then a D4, and then bardic inspo is what, a D6. D6.
D6.
Nice.
Damn, that was a 6.
So I got a 25 in deception. This one's for you. Okay. I unconsciously rub my thumb over that scale that Cameron had made for me as a token of our friendship.
So I'm just going to go ahead and let you know what he rolled. He rolled a 23.
We stare at each other in the eyes for a really long time.
Yeah, he really does, and then he looks down again and scratches another note in the notebook.
Jesus Christ.
I drink a full stout. I stop talking and just take the time to drink a full entire beer before I say anything else.
And by that time, Corin, you probably have made your way back downstairs, dressed once again and not looking like a jackass.
Yep.
So I assume you then lead him over to Coltrast Keep. Is anyone else going with him, or is it just you?
Corin a secret thumbs up, I greased, or I do this I greased him,
Anybody can come with me if they like, as long as, they're not going to try and...
I'm not going because I was there with what happened at the magic place, so,
I'm going to hang out with Blaznir.
Yeah, just going to lay low for a bit.
Yeah, didn't you have your You had a few different forms while you were there, Blaznir.
I was Commander Lorient, I believe.
Yeah, and you're a fly at one point, and I think something
I was a
else.
fly.
It was confusing.
But
And Willow was there posing as Commander Lorient's daughter.
Yeah. All that did happen.
If nobody goes with Corin, I will go, if only to give the help action.
I'm sorry, it could be there, but
I can go if you want me to.
It's up to you. I was just asking.
I'll go.
Okay.
Be muscle in case you need it for some reason.
And as Aesthetic is saying, not the banana hammock. Fortunately, Corin has that covered up. And you and Ichabod and Caia make your way to Coltrast Keep. Now, as you're all walking, the dwarf does look up at you, Corin, and he kind of looks you up and down, and he says something to you in a language that you don't know.
Yeah. About a good old intelligence check to try and tell what he's talking in.
Go for it.
Unless it would be a skill of some kind.
No, intelligence is probably the way to go on this.
Dirty 20.
You know the Sylvan language, correct?
Yes, as well as primordial, common, and undercommon.
But so you do recognize with your 20 intelligence that there's similarities in the language that in the basically two sentences that he said to Sylvan, but there is a lot of differences as well. It's not enough that you can understand what he said, but given that there is a similarity to it, you kind of have the idea that he probably said something to you in Elvish.
Can I make an insight check to try and use context clues in the way that he was saying things to try and figure out the gist of what he was saying?
Roll at a disadvantage.
Sure.
Man, if only I was there. I know Elvish.
I got an 18.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know with your 18, I would say that you know that your body is currently in an elf form, and he said something to you in Elvish. Probably, it's hard to determine what he's saying, but you at least can get the idea. It's probably something about the fact that you are an elf.
I'll respond in primordial.
Oh, why not Sylvan?
And if he asks why I'm responding in primordial, I would simply offer that I do not speak Dwarven, but that I have heard that the languages of earth elementals and dwarves are similar, and I felt that it would be more comfortable for him to converse in something that is closer to his native language.
So you say this in this dark, and what language did you say?
Primordial.
Primordial.
I mean, I could go with undercommon, but that would assume that he was like an underground, like deep dwarf or whatever. Yeah, Duragar, and that might be insulting.
Well, you say something in primordial, and he just kind of gives you a quizzical look, like what the fuck are you saying?
Oh, are we all speaking languages over here? I say something in Celestial. I say, God bless you.
The dwarf looks over at you and say, God bless you too. Your elf here doesn't know Elvish?
Oh, he just doesn't speak it outside the walls. You know, it's already scandalous enough for him to be out here, so.
Make a deception check.
I'm pretty good, honestly.
I'll say in undercommon to the dwarf, trying to assist her. I know a variety of languages. I am a student, a scholar.
I'll let you both roll deception checks.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a 22. I'm the best liar there is, honey.
Do I have to roll now that she's rolled?
You can see if you
don't
get a
want
nat
to.
20.
No, I'm good with the 22.
Not even going to try for it.
Wow.
Is it that you couldn't get higher than a 22?
He
I
rolled
have
a
no
nat
proficiency
20.
and a
Oh, okay.
-1 to my charisma
Okay.
score. I was
Oh.
just shooting to give you advantage.
Understandable.
So-
Have a mistake. Ichabod lies way too easy for a man of God.
Yeah, well, the dwarf looks at you, but he doesn't seem to be picking up what you're putting down, and he eventually just says, "Yeah, well, whatever." And he just kind of does not say anything else until the group arrives at Coltrast Keep, which doesn't take very long. You are in the upper city.
Yep.
But he definitely did not believe you, Brie.
Okay.
Ichabod.
That's right. I don't know him very well anyway.
Once you arrive, you do find Edmund working in the library with a man who is probably the new captain of the guard. What was that guy's name? I don't even remember anymore. Jonathan Junger. He is now the
Sir Junger.
He's
Tip my
now the
hat.
captain of the guards here in Coltrast, which they have put together a small militia. And he's also written to the capital, Edmund has in the past 2 days, asking for some soldiers to be sent down to help keep the peace. Once he puts everything down and looks over, and the dwarf does begin to hear the story you had all prepared, and Edmund does confirm that this is what happened. That underneath Coltrast, while you were all fighting Lord Veritude, Cameron Hawthorne met his demise by a beholder Ire. The story that Ichabod gave of sending him to Gulfrin kind of puts an eyebrow raise in Edmund's face, because he was not expecting that, but he does go along with it.
Does anybody else know that there's a portal to the Feywild in Gulfrin, or is that like a secret?
Nope, nobody here knows that. That's for sure.
Oh, I just said it like it was a fact everybody knew.
Yeah, not much is known about Gulfrin outside of it. It's very like the elves are xenophobic, but Gulfrin is anti everything that's not human.
It's true.
So not a lot of trade comes out of Gulfrin.
I too am a traveler from a faraway land.
Yeah, and I mean, considering that he was turned to dust, or I was turned to dust, it's really easy to just, maybe he got there, maybe they were just like, oh, we already got paid, we're just gonna dump these vials out by the side of the road and go on our way.
They're like, wait, he was a rabbit folk? Dump.
Yeah, right. The dwarf, I'm going to ask all of you to make one more deception check. You can roll this one at advantage because everyone is working together and talking about this. Caia's there, Corin's there, Ichabod's there.
I'm all lied out.
Wow.
Let's hope I do better than that.
So I roll too?
Yes, but with advantage. I got a 14.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is a group check, is what this is. And I'm allowing you all to roll with advantage because Edmund's helping as well.
Edmund?
No, Edmund's not rolling.
I didn't mean to do it twice. Sorry.
Okay, so of the three of you, you rolled a 9, a 14, and a 12.
Yeah, we're failing pretty miserably here.
Goodbye, Corin.
Actually...
What's up?
I'm gonna do a chronal shift and re-roll.
Okay, you got one more roll to do. Go for it.
Yep. Actually, I could do it on any of us. Who has the highest bonus?
I have a +4.
Go for it.
I just rolled like garbage.
Just one single roll here.
It's better.
Yeah. 10.
What?
I will remind you, Caia, that you do have inspiration that Anesthetic gave you. Who's saying right now, bad rolls.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. This is gonna be normal though, right?
This is one last deception roll. Yeah, just one at normal.
On. 17's better.
Okay. So, the end result of the rolls was a 14 from Corin, a 10 from Ichabod, and a 17 from Caia. So that is overall a decent roll. And I'm going to say that the dwarf seemed a little dubious about this, and he asks a lot of follow-up questions. Like, a lot of follow-up questions. He talks about the two other individuals that were there. He says that there was an imposter of the guard captain there, along with somebody claiming to be a daughter, which was weird because he doesn't have a daughter, and that they're searching for the two other individuals associated with Cameron. And he does mention that you have like a burn victim person. You also have a big dude walking around wearing fire. So there is going to be some follow-up questions, and he's going to be sticking around for a little while to carry out a more thorough investigation. But he has accepted what you've told him, that Cameron Hawthorne is dead.
Oh, thank God. Willow almost got us all screwed.
I know.
Yes, because I really knew what was going on.
But it was the worst.
I told you.
Said
Like when I reincarnated last session, I was like, "This is what I'm going by now."
It was a one-off from something Willow probably didn't remember.
That's fair.
But anyway, yeah. So the dwarf tells you that he's going to be taking up. He's going to find an inn and get a room, and he's going to be back to ask some more questions. You all tell him that you do have business elsewhere, and you're all going to do different things. And he says, "That's fine. I'm sure you'll be back here soon. And in the meantime, I can complete my investigation and search around town. You don't mind if I check out your mansion while you're here, do you?"
That
Sure.
depends. Do you have a warrant?
He taps his badge and he says, "I'm an investigator for the Magisterium. If I need permission from your baron here, I'll go ask him."
Actually,
I was hoping we would just be, cool and get this over with.
Give me just a moment with my compatriots here while we try to determine if our rights are being violated. And I bring them all over and I say, honestly, now would probably be the best time for him to take a look at the mansion. It's filled with Nynaeve stuff. What do we care?
fair.
So as long as you hide that spell
know
buff of yours.
the problems of having someone looking for reasoning, even if there is none.
Oh no, this guy seems pretty logical to me. I look at him, and he's got good taste in beer, so I'm inclined to trust him.
Then yes, as long as we inform Willow and Blaznir of what's going on, I think it should be fine.
I turn back to him and I say, you will have our permission to check around the mansion as long as there is an agreed upon time at which you are coming. No surprise visits. We're trying to get settled in.
That's perfectly reasonable. I'll send a message after I get settled then let's say I'll be at your mansion tomorrow by noon.
Fair enough. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, your lordship, for meeting with me. I appreciate it in these clearly distressing times for you all. And he kind of glances at everyone again. And I'll be in touch with you soon as well, my lord.
I am at that point when he looks at us, I am going to look a little beleaguered, because even if I am trying to lie to this guy's face, like, I've been through a lot recently. Getting dusted and reincarnated, so yeah, I can definitely show, yeah, we've been through some trying times.
Yeah, definitely. And this dwarf definitely picks up on that. He does mention that like he said, he'll be here for a while. He'll probably be setting up some equipment when he comes and does his investigation in your mansion. He is an artificer, he does mention, and so he kind of has some gadgets that helps him do his work. But it's all on top of the board. He won't break anything. He won't. Everything will be where you found it, so don't worry about that.
I could tell that from his spring-loaded notebook.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that give it away. Every artificer has goggles.
Of course, every artificer has goggles.
You have to have goggles.
You say as you look at Shokan, who has goggles.
But Shokan ain't building nothing with those big meaty hands.
Every artificer has goggles, but not every person with goggles is an artificer.
Indeed. Just yet another microaggression from Ichabod. I don't know. It was just funny.
Yeah, I guess it did come from a place of prejudice.
Exactly. I just thought it was funny. But the dwarf does go and heads out to find himself an inn, and you all can return to your mansion. The next day is when you planned on heading out on your various things. If you're still planning on doing that, you can absolutely do so.
I trust that everybody can handle it, so I will still head out in the morning.
I'm immediately, when we get back to the mansion, going to be speaking to Blaznir and to Willow and say, okay, this is what's happening. This is the lie. Toe the line and we'll be fine.
Yes. Good idea. I probably shouldn't have, yeah.
He's going to be, basically he's going to be coming to look through our stuff, as long as, the only thing that's really problematic is my spell book, so just...
I mean, we're going to be going somewhere anyway, so, like...
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to, be around while he does it?
I thought we were going to Northimia, so...
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't think, unless he's going to be they're not here, they're probably guilty, but
I mean, we told him we had stuff to do. We could have...
I guess did we make it clear to him that he was going to be coming out, we're not going to be there?
That's up to you, if you...
Because, if you guys don't want to... Because I figured either you would stay here until noon, he would look around, and then you guys would leave afterwards, or we could just leave and tell him we're not going to be there at the time, so...
really, the only... If we want to leave somebody behind, it should be whoever can actually lie convincingly. I mean, I could be around, but that minus one.
There's no reason it has to be. So it's up to you.
I'm apparently pretty good at lying, so if you want me to stay behind, I can.
I think we can just leave. I don't think it matters. We can have somebody with him just to keep an eye on what he's doing, so that everything is above board. And
you could just ask Edmund to send a couple guards to oversee it if you're.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We can do that.
You don't have to. It's only if you want to.
Then no, I'm not going to stay. We're going to go with Mia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I don't think I should stay.
With that whole golf thing, I thought that was common knowledge, but just goes to show you're a product of where you're raised. So,
yeah,
ain't that
incredibly a product of where you're raised.
Okay,
I feel like you're slighting me, but that's fine.
Now, Ichabod, you're planning to head to Port Suliard, while everyone else, I guess everyone else is heading to Northimia?
Yes.
Everyone else.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be so cathartic for Ichabod. Alone on the road. Nice.
They're trying to guilt trip us?
No, I'm saying I want this. I like it. Good.
Well, I'm popping up the map of the Kingdom of Radagast. As you can see, Coltrast is down there towards the center, just right under the big words Kingdom of Radagast. Port Suliard is to the northeast, way up there, past Florina. Northimia itself is even farther to the northwest. Now, taking the roads and following them straight along, Ichabod, you'll probably get to Port Suliard in about 4 days of hard ride. If you're hurrying the rest of your group, if you're hurrying along in that same pace as quick as you can, trying to get there, it'll probably take you a good 7 days to get there. But you are also level 10. And while there are a lot of monsters in this area, none of them have to be too complicated.
Sure.
We'll just say that chances are, if anything did bother you during that time, you're probably able to either fend it off or hide from it.
Cool.
Ichabod, for your part, you're riding alone, which makes it a little bit more dangerous. But as long as you're staying to the prescribed roads, chances are you're probably not going to be bothered on your way to Port Suliard. So I'm not going to turn this into like a several session thing, trying to get to do your downtime. I want you to do your downtime as quickly as possible for you. That sound good?
Good.
So, while the rest of the group is heading to Northimia, let's go ahead and talk Ichabod for a little bit. Okay?
Right.
Let me pull something up real quick.
Ichabod's very nervous the whole ride there.
Yeah, tell us about your mental state and what you're thinking about as you're heading to Port Suliard.
It's been about 3 years since I've seen my family. 2 of those because I was off in war. So I'm thinking a lot about the last kind of conversations I had with my wife. Our relationship probably wasn't in good standing at the time already, but she really did not want me to go away. But I told her just be a year, for sure, just be a year. But after a year, things were still kind of rough, and I was pretty good at what I was doing, so I stayed another year. And by the time I came back, she had left a little note for me saying she'd gone and taken our boys, whose names are Ishmael and Fear Not, and just gone away. So I've been separated from them for a long time. I imagine they aren't very happy with me, but my family's everything, so they're not going to get rid of me that easy. So I'm just like thinking about what I could say to her, and mostly what I could say to Ishmael, who's my oldest son and my pride and joy. So I care a lot about his opinion of me. So I'm hoping that they're safe and that they won't be too mad.
Interesting. So as these thoughts are kind of lingering on your mind, after about 4 days of hard riding, where you basically had to do that thing with the horses where you change the speed they're going from a canter to a trot to a run to a walk down and back and forth to extend your journey. You eventually do come to the port town of Suliard. Now, Suliard itself is a town that is surrounded by palisades. It has a river running down the center of it, and you actually come in on the eastern side of town. As you arrive there, you are questioned about your business, and how do you respond when you're questioned while you're there?
Well, the last time I had found any information about my wife, it was at a church in Northimia. So obviously she's still going to church. So I tell him I am Ichabod Sykes, a servant of the Father. I've come in town to meet with someone, some people close to me, and I would like to know where the Church of the Five is.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Sure. Does it seem like this town is like they're acting like real sus of strangers?
Not really. It's more they honestly more seem like this is more their like job, like it's just day-to-day routine.
I only got an 8 on my persuasion. I'm not very persuasive. I've been riding for 4 days.
Yeah,
I'm not in the best shape.
You're kind of exhausted, kind of weary, and the two of them look at one another and they're just like, just ask around for the Shrine of Balrus.
Oh, y'all don't have a dedicated church?
That is the church. It's
Okay.
what you call it, the Shrine of Balrus. Just ask around, you'll find it. Next, and they like just kind of push you on
All
through.
right. They ain't very hospitable here, but that's fine.
Not with your 8. You had to roll a 10.
I know, that's just me thinking about, well, people are much nicer down in Gulfport.
Yeah, indeed they are. Go ahead and make one more persuasion check with advantage. Just try to ask around, looking for the Shrine of Balrus.
Persuasion 13.
Yeah. It doesn't take you long. You have to go in, ask a few shop vendors. They seem irritated that you're not buying anything. But eventually you are led more to the northwestern side of town, where a very small church has been erected. It is a stone structure about 3 stories tall, including the steeple at the top, where you can see a big weathered bronze bell inside.
All right. So what is like the time of day that I'm here?
I imagine it's probably mid-afternoon at this point. The sun is high in the sky. It is very hot, even here near the coast. And the town, honestly, it's a very fishy smelling town.
Mm-hmm.
You as you're passing through and you're traveling, it does take you a good hour or so to get to the side of town where the shrine is. And you do notice as you're going, the streets are dirty. It's a very crowded area, and there are a lot of urchins that just kind of seem to loiter and hang out in the alleyways as you're traveling.
So anything like Dalery Port in Gulfport, I imagine that's where we would kind of go to spend time in the city and to watch all the ships on the sea and whatnot. So I'm like, I can see why my family would come here, but it seems a little worse off than I imagine Dalery Port to be.
Yeah, indeed it does. You do also notice as you're walking that most of the people that live in here are human. You do see some dwarves and a various smattering of other races as well, but more humans than anything else stands out in this town, something you haven't noticed in a lot of the other towns you've been in.
I will go up to the doors and open them up if they are unlocked.
They are unlocked, and as you walk in, you do see a few people sitting among the benches praying. There is an old priest that's in the back, a woman who has silver hair and very large gray eyes, who seems to be polishing a moderate-sized marble statue that as you look at it, you do recognize the father's symbol on it. This is a much older looking man, long beard, kind of Zeus-like in appearance.
All right, I remove my hat as I enter the church, and then I want to walk up and say a short prayer before the statue of Balrus, and then I will wait until she has a moment, it seems, and then say, "Excuse me, ma'am."
Yeah, actually, she does step away when you approach the statue and kind of just stands to one side and lets you kneel down and do your prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just seems like she's kind of waiting on you. And when you get back up, you do notice that she's just kind of standing there watching. And she says, "Welcome to the Shrine of Balrus, my son. How can I help you?"
Well, my name is Ichabod Sykes. I'm a servant of the Father, as I can see you are too. But I'm actually in town looking for somebody in particular. You may know her. Her name is Prudence Nightingale.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. 22, because she's also of my faith.
She does say, well, my name is, what is my, sorry, I moved my page. Yeah, my name is Sister Abel. You said you're looking for Prudence Nightingale.
That's right. And perhaps two boys with her. Ishmael should be about 17. Fear Not should be about 11.
And what did you say your name was again?
Ichabod Sykes. I look nervous.
She looks at you a very long time, very piercingly. And she kind of.
Can I roll an insight? Has she been warned not to tell?
Go for it.
So my terrible husband.
If a man named Ichabod Sykes comes here, tell him I'm dead.
Kick him in the nuts.
Well, with your 13, you pick up that this woman does seem a little bit cagey, but that 22 persuasion was enough. And she finally kind of nods her head and she says, yes, I do know Prudence. I suppose you're her husband. She mentioned that someday you might show up here looking for her.
Oh, Prue knows me well, so could you tell me where they're staying? I'd really like to talk to her.
Why don't you come and have a seat, and we can speak for a moment. And she leads you over to a bench and kind of gestures for you to sit down.
Okay, I slowly sit down.
Prudence did live here in Port Suliard. She moved away about 8 months ago.
See, do you know where she went? She took the boys with her, I imagine.
She does nod. Yes, she did take. Your sons are both, I assume, with her still. But as I said, I haven't seen her since she left. Prudence and the boys had difficulties here in Port Suliard, I'm afraid.
How do you mean?
Well, she kind of is having a hard time putting her words together, but I'm still going with your 22.
I start tapping my foot, like, nervously.
Yeah. Prudence came to Port Suliard about 3 years ago, and as a single mother, she had a hard time finding work, but she would come in here every day to pray. And when I heard about her and her sons, I offered her a position here. She actually worked here as a housekeeper and cook while she lived here. I'm sorry to say, Ichabod, or Mr. Sykes, I should say. During the years that they lived here, your son Ishmael had grown very resentful. He was
in trouble?
He was befriended by some less than savory types here, children his own age. And I'm sad to say they kind of got into things they really shouldn't have.
All right. What kind of things? Stealing? I gotta know.
She nods her head. Stealing, cut purse, things of that nature. It honestly wasn't more than a year before I heard that he was running with the local chapter of the Thieves Guild. Prudence, of course, she tried to keep her son on the righteous path. She tried to bring him into the church, but as I said, your son had grown very resentful over the last year, and it wasn't long before he was in trouble with the local law. About 8 months ago, Prudence informed me that she was quitting her job and leaving Suliard. It wasn't until, she just came in and left the key and collected what money I owed her. And then she left, and by the next day, her and your sons were gone. She actually, I went over to her house, and quite a lot of her things were left there. I can tell you where she lived.
Oh, that would be great. I would also have one more question for you. Do you happen to know maybe the identity or the hangout spots for these kids? I might be able to ask them a few questions that might help.
I wish I could tell you I did, but they left about the same time as your wife and sons did. I haven't seen them here in town since.
Well, in that case, can you also direct me to your guards' barracks? Any of the guards my son may have run in with, and perhaps I can ask them the same question.
Yeah, she does direct you to the.
I'm about to beat the shit out of some little kids. I don't say that in character, but I clench my fist and try to seem like I'm totally super friendly and happy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. She does direct you to the nearest guard house that you can speak to the guards if you want to. Do you have any other questions for her? You did ask about the kids, and I did say that his friends did leave Port Suliard about the same time. Do you have any other questions for her?
About my younger son, Fear Not. Would he come to church with his mother? I just want to know from my heart.
Oh, yes, he did. Fear Not came into church every day with his mother to offer a prayer. He was a regular in the service. He's a wonderful child. He's quite kind and is very devoted to helping his mother.
That's a little bit of sugar on a hard to swallow drink. So thank you, sister. You've been very helpful to me, and I do appreciate how forthcoming you've been. I'm sure Prudence may have told you some negative things about me, but I've been working on myself.
She did mention the difficulties the two of you are having in your relationship, and that in her words, she said that you put your duty ahead of your family. And I'm not going to judge you, Brother Sykes. Just telling you what Prudence told me, but she was sorrowful that you chose to abandon her, and she always suspected that one day you would come looking for her. She asked me not to tell you where she was going, but I believe everyone deserves a chance to do the right thing. And she pulls out a piece of paper, or actually I would say she probably has to go and get this. She goes into her room, gets something, and returns, and she says, when I went over to your home, I did look through things, and I found this piece of paper in the waste paper basket. It's a letter that she had crumpled up, but it said that she was traveling and going to the town of Rowena in the Margarden Federation. It said that she was going to try to take care of the debt herself. I don't know if that means anything to you.
It doesn't yet, but I feel like I might have some friends I could ask about this. Thank you again, sister. I think I don't have anything else for her, so
okay.
I walk away.
She does give you a blessing of the Father, as
I'm going to need that. So I guess I would like to go to the house that they were living at. But I understand if you need to cut away to them.
Chronologically, I wouldn't, but yeah, let's absolutely head over to Northimia. Your group does arrive there eventually. It takes about a good week of solid riding to get there, but you do arrive at Northimia. The bureaucracy of getting into the city is the pain in the ass it always is. Guards constantly check every single person that's traveling. They if you have any possessions for trade or anything like that, they document them, and it's a whole thing. But eventually, you do make your way into the city. Where are you wanting to go?
All right, I'll go first, I guess. No one else speaking. I'm gonna head towards the wizard place.
The wizard place.
The
Yeah, the
Institute Arcanum.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Okay, you're going to the Institute Arcanum?
Yeah, I need to get a couple magic things.
Are you looking for a magic shop, or are you looking for the wizard school?
I'm looking for a place that could that I can what's the word? Commission some magic stuff.
Okay, so you would not go to the Twisted Spires then.
Is that? I thought that's where we did it last time. So
no, that's the wizard school. That's where you broke in so that he could look around his master's office.
Yeah,
okay. Well, wherever because I remember we got something, some magic things.
Yeah, there is an enchanter's shop here.
Yeah, you want to commission magic items, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that we did that there. Okay.
No, that's where he and I are going to go.
Yeah. That's what I thought. It just kind of threw me off when you said you're going to the Institute.
Well, I thought that was. I'm just dumb. All right. I don't take notes.
Well, take notes then, dude.
I can't do that in focus, but
anyway, as Blaznir goes and looks for a damn notebook, the rest of you can head over to Antioch's Arcana, which is an enchanter's shop. The man, as you arrive, he was a half-orc, if I'm remembering correctly, which I always am. He's an enchanter that has a flair for jokes, and the moment he walks in, he greets you all by name. He did the same thing the last time he came in, as though he just somehow is able to pull your name out of the ether. And Cameron, or Corin, he does not address you as Cameron, he addresses you as Corin. Which
awesome.
It's like off-putting and weird somehow.
Yeah. I'm a wizard. I understand it's probably a magic thing.
But as he's looking at all of you, he's like, okay, well, what can I do for you?
We are here to see about commissioning some work from you.
Well, I do have plenty of magical items that you can peruse here. I have a wide assortment of things. I do take commissions as well. What specifically are you looking for?
You want to go first, or should I?
It doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be honest.
In particular, I am wondering if you have any magical spellbooks in stock. And I am also wondering about the feasibility of an item that would improve my likability. I don't know what the in-game term would be. I'm looking for something that will make my charisma higher.
Basically, you're wanting something along the lines of the headband of intellect, but instead
yes,
of
but for charisma.
For charisma. Yeah, unfortunately, D&D doesn't have that sort of thing, which is stupid.
Yes.
But yes, you absolutely can commission a headband that would do it. Now, he does tell you it'll probably take a week to build.
Sure.
enchant. It will be a headband, and it is an attunement item.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. The
yeah.
cost for that kind of item would be 6,400 gold.
Okay.
And if you pay a little extra, if you round it up to 7,000 even, he could probably get it done in 4 days.
Okay. I will. Can I give him half of it now? And then.
Oh yeah.
Does he need all of it now?
I mean, we don't have to make this too complicated if we don't want to. Yes, he would.
No, I'm just.
What's up?
Okay, I'm just gonna have to try and go through the party stuff, like selling gems and stuff, try and get a little extra cash because I've only got about 5,400 on me right now, and then some platinum.
Yeah, you can sit there and think about how you're gonna put it all together, but
okay.
If you do pay him half, he'll start working on it, and then you pay the other half when you pick up the item. That's totally
sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
and
it's just going to be a headband of charisma. I'm not going to make this too complicated.
That tiara that I had that I was wearing. Did I get that after we left Northimia?
That would have been dissolved with the Beholder's Ray because it was not a magical
That's fine then. Okay.
Unfortunately.
So is it exactly like the Headband of Intellect where it's like your charisma is 19 while you wear this?
Yes, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Sweet. And then you said 7,000, so I'd need to give him 3,500 to start?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then that leaves me with 1563. Like I said, I was asking him if he had anything in the way of magic spellbooks.
Like, when you say magic spellbooks, what do you mean?
I sent you a link.
Oh, did you? Okay, where did you send it in?
Discord.
Gotcha.
I just figured that if nothing else, my Atlas is probably the one thing that I have remaining that would be particularly noticeable. And also
you could do like a book cover, like just...
I could.
I mean...
If not, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something he has, but it's something that he could make.
Okay.
I gotta figure out how much it would be, though. It is
a
rare item.
And I'll also ask him if he needs straight coin as payment, or if he also takes trade.
He does take in trade if you have things you want to sell.
Sure. So I'm going to mention the Ring of Psychic Resistance, Ring of Lightning Resistance, Brooch of Living Essence, and the +1 Glaive, and see if any of those strip his fancy. And the +1 Hand Axe as well.
Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Oh man, my book went away.
Okay, so the magic book that you want to have, it is a rare item. He could make it, but it's hella expensive.
Okay.
It would be 30,000.
Yikes. I'll skip that for now.
Yeah, that's at a discount.
Yeah.
Rare items are 30,000.
They can
For
be
that one.
anywhere between 20 and 60,000, depending on the item.
Okay.
There goes my shopping list.
Was he interested in any things I mentioned?
So tell me the things you had again.
+1 hand axe, +1 glaive, ring of psychic resistance, ring of lightning resistance,
Okay.
the brooch of...
You're
Oh,
going
sorry.
fast.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. He will take the +1 weapons for 400 gold.
400 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Each or total?
Each one. Each +1 weapon is 400 gold.
What's the skill for insight, I guess, to see if that's a fair price? Or would I even know?
Sure, go ahead and roll an insight.
That's a 10. And then if you're giving me guidance...
Yeah.
That's a 12. So still not great.
It's hard to tell. Like, you do know that most of the time when a shop will buy something, they typically buy it at half of what it's actually worth.
Gotcha. Okay, well, nobody seemed interested in either of those, so I'm just going to sell them to him for 400 apiece.
Yeah, it's actually 408 apiece. So
Okay.
408 a piece. For the ring of thunder, what'd you say? Lightning resistance.
Yes, lightning resistance.
The ring of lightning resistance he will buy for 2,400 gold.
Okay.
What other items?
The ring of psychic resistance, which is also specifically noted as being gold.
Yeah, same price. 4,000.
2,400.
Yeah, 2,400.
Okay. And then the last one is the brooch of living essence.
That's uncommon. That one he will buy for 3,000 gold.
Sure. So that's a total of 8,616 gold.
Selling all those resistance rings. Sure hope it doesn't, be needed later. Okay. Do you have anything else you're wanting to sell?
I believe the rest of the stuff is non-magical things, so...
If you just have gemstones, he'll typically buy stuff like that. Anything that can be used in crafting, he'll typically
we have
buy.
the 5 candelabra that were 250 gold pieces each.
Yeah.
Would he be interested in those?
All those items are what they're worth after selling.
Right.
So
I'm just asking if he'd buy them.
Yes, he will buy them.
Okay. So that's another 1,250. Cool.
Does anybody else have things they want to buy? I know, Ichabod, you wanted your armor. Why don't you start telling me about that?
All right. So it's topaz dragon scale mail armor for my horse. that has the enchantment so that when he is dispelled, it doesn't just drop on the ground. So it can like disappear into like some kind of a demi-plane or something, and then come back when he's summoned. And then the other thing was combining my 2 long swords. So now it's just a moon touched +1 long sword instead of 1 of each.
Got it. Okay.
And then I think I had already gotten my shield engraved back in.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Did I pay for that? I think I.
I think because he didn't charge you very much for it.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
So yes, to switch the enchantment over from the Moon Touched blade onto the +1 blade, it's going to cost a flat rate of 300 gold. It's actually you're just moving a very simple enchantment onto it, so it's not a huge price. Let's see here.
And then I had what you had quoted me when I was going to have chainmail armor made that was enchanted.
What was that?
So that was 1,500 gold pieces for enchanted chainmail armor for the horse. But this one we're providing the materials, and scale mail's a little bit less of an AC buff, or unless it being Topaz Dragon does anything, I don't know.
So the Topaz Dragon thing gives it resistance to the necrotic.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
He will have necrotic resistance wearing that armor. So to make the armor, you are providing the materials, and that's going to bring down the price. But it is, it is a material that's hard to work with, and it's more expensive than just say enchanting a simple suit of armor. So in total, it's going to cost you. Since you provided the material, I'm taking 1,000 gold off of this, and it's going to be a total of 2,000 gold. Now, what he's going to do, it's a little bit more than just the chainmail shirt, but it is also giving you a much better resistance. And it's the way he's enchanting this, he will take one of those scales and enchant it so that if the horse dies and it disappears, that armor will then be sucked into the scale that's in your possession.
Okay, well then also give him to engrave the symbol of the father on the one right in the middle of his forehead. Tap that on, and that can be the scale that you enchant.
Absolutely. That scale you'll have to keep on your person.
Yeah.
So you're having that one engraved with the father?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, you'll do that. And it'll look however you want it to look. Like, it's entirely up to you. But for 2,000 gold, you have your horse armor that gives it a necrotic resistance, and it comes back whenever he dies.
Okay, I sent the amount that everybody's getting at some point to the Facebook chat.
And the regular scale mail AC, which is 15.
Yep.
Change this thing to be 15.
Oh. We know that there's an artist in town, right, Matt?
Like just an artist? Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to ask about one more stupid thing.
Go for it.
Like, basically a fake unicorn's horn with a little, like, leather setup so that I can attach it to my horse so that my white horse looks like it's a unicorn.
So you could actually buy a unicorn horn and ask them to mount it on there if you really wanted to. Or you could have somebody make...
Surgically?
No, like, it's not going to attach it surgically. Like, you can go buy a unicorn's horn, because these are things that people sell. It's kind of frowned upon, but you could if you really wanted to.
I just want a fake one so that it's not actually being, like, a horrible, horrible person.
Okay. What kind of material do you want this to be made out of?
Whatever the person making it thinks would be most realistic looking.
Most realistic looking? Well, like, ivory would be the next available thing.
How much would that cost?
To carve an ivory horn and then make a leather harness on it. God, this is so fucking phallic. But
it doesn't have to do anything special. I like the idea of being an elf who gets to ride a unicorn, you know.
Yes, you're about to be an elf wearing a unicorn with a strap on. But he can make that for you. And
how much would it be?
Cost you with the work involved and all that, 35 gold.
Sure, I will pay 35 gold.
Okay. And 35 gold, and 3 days later you have a harness for your horse's head with a unicorn horn on it.
Yay.
Gave his horse a strap.
Blaznir notices that Cameron got all that dang money. He's got all that money.
What?
No, like I said, in Facebook
You
chat,
put it in the thing. Okay.
put how much everybody gets at some point.
Okay.
It wouldn't necessarily be immediately because we have to, meet back up with
I
Ichabod.
thought you were going to spend all the extra money on the unicorn horn.
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, in all fairness, it cost him 35 gold. It wasn't.
Yeah. When you were talking about getting an actual unicorn horn, I was like, don't tempt him to spend
That's
all
why
that.
I said it. I wanted to see if he'd be willing to buy it.
No. Though, speaking of selling stuff, nobody cared about any of that jewelry type stuff from the Dragon Horde, did they? We were just going to sell all that?
I'm pretty willing.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't need any of it.
Okay, so, Matt,
Yeah.
gold statue of a woman,
Mm-hmm.
Fabergé egg encrusted with topaz.
So, every time I give you something, I tell you how much these things cost.
Oh,
We do green.
okay.
Yeah, it's your job to keep a track of the price.
That's fair. That's my bad. I'll look around and see if I can, because I thought I would have written that down.
Like every time I tell you something, you always say, "Can you just put that in?" And I just copy and paste it.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll look for that.
So, I mean, if you can't find it, I'll just tell you an arbitrary price.
That's fine. I'll look around for a bit.
Okay. Who else has things they want to buy?
I do.
Go ahead, Blaznir.
Okay. So I was hoping that I could get a better enchantment on my the scimitar I made, the blazing scimitar.
Okay.
Just to upgrade to the amount of fire damage it does, if I can.
So what's it do right now?
It does 2d4 fire damage, and has a magic bonus of 1.
So what are you wanting to add to it? You're wanting to add to more fire damage, like make it a true flame tongue scimitar, or are you wanting to add to the bonus of the blade itself, or both, or what?
If I can do both, then that's great. But if it's too expensive, then I'll just do a buff to the fire damage.
Because it's a +1 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. To add another plus is about 12,000 gold.
Okay. What would it be for fire damage buff?
The fire damage buff itself is quite a bit cheaper. It would be 3,000 gold, and it would make it 2d6 instead of 2d4.
Then yeah, I'll just do a buff to the fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, he tells you it'd probably take him about 5 days to get this done, because it is a much more lengthy. Or actually, no, it's already half done as it is. So, 3 days it'll take him to enchant that to do more damage.
Well,
and you said 3,000 gold.
So
far, the longest project is going to take 4 days, Ichabod, if that's what you're asking.
No, I was going to be like, damn, if I knew it was that cheap to add damage, put some radiant on my sword. Send you some money.
Radiant might be more expensive because it's a rare type. I don't know if it works that way though.
So what he will tell you, we'll just pretend that Caia said, "Oh, I bet Ichabod would like something like that. How much would it be to add a radiant to that?" So just to add that kind of enchantment, just so you know, Ichabod, that would be 4,000 gold in total. It's
2d4 radiant.
Yeah, for the 2d6.
2d6, I'll take it.
Okay. So for an extra 4,020 total gold. gold is what it was.
I'm broke.
Now, is that for the entire thing, or did you have to have the original enchantment first?
No, this is to add in, because they're already working on her weapon,
Oh,
adding
okay.
the moon touch to it. So they're just going to add the radiant damage to it as well for an extra 4,020.
Gotcha. I just knew that Blaznir originally had the 2d4, and then he got it upgraded, so
yeah,
I didn't
he
know
got
if
an upgrade, so he got a cheaper price.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's why it cost him less than it did her.
Cool.
Appreciated, because I'm still going to hold out for finding a magic whip. I don't want to buy one. I want to find one. So I'm just going to upgrade that longsword.
I will, since you do bring up the whips, a +1 whip itself would be 816 gold.
It's all cheap as hell.
Well, Ichabod, I was actually going to see about making the beholder tentacles into a whip for you.
A beholder tentacle whip.
Interesting, Willow.
Okay.
Okay,
So let's
I'll hold off on the whip for now.
Well, let's
Since
move
I'm not
over to
there.
Willow, since Willow is talking about wanting to craft something. What are you wanting to do with the beholder whip? Tentacle.
I was going to see if they could do anything about making a whip out of it. I have 8 tentacles, and then I had some beholder teeth. I thought it would be nice to have the teeth at the end for a little bit of actual damage.
It's like a whip with a blade on the end, so you'd be kind of mimicking the design of my current one.
I mean, they definitely could take those things and make a whip out of it. Hold on one second. Sorry. Are you hoping for any specific, like, they could take the tentacles and tan the hides and braid that into a leather whip and then take those teeth and work it together to make a spike for the end so it does the slashing damage and that sort of thing. And what does a whip do damage-wise, Ichabod?
So a normal whip in D&D does 1d4. The one that I have does 1d8 because it was like special from my order that we had talked about. Because I was like, you can't use a whip as a normal weapon the way it is written in D&D.
Sure. So here's my question, Willow. But using these things in this way, what kind of property are you hoping to give it? What are you hoping to achieve by making a whip out of these items specifically?
I mean, if something magical comes out of it, that'd be awesome. It's more of I had the tentacles. I knew Ichabod's been talking about wanting a new whip, or talking about getting a whip, so I just thought it'd be nice to do something with them, since I didn't know what to do with them.
Okay. So here's what it's going to be. He tells you that he can take these items and, like I said, tan the leather, braid it together to create a nice long whip. He tests the material and he's like, yeah, this is kind of springy and spongy material, so it's interesting. If I take that and use that along with the teeth and create kind of a spike at the end of this, this weapon will do slashing damage instead of, I think a normal whip is piercing damage, perhaps.
I think it is slashing.
It is
The
slashing.
normal whip is
Okay,
slashing.
well, it is still going to do slash. Then instead of slashing, we're going to say it does piercing damage because it has teeth, and so it's going to do piercing damage. The whip itself is going to do 2d4 damage instead of 1d8 or 1d6. It's going to do 2d4 damage. It'll be a +1 enchanted weapon. And what is the range on a whip?
Range on a whip is 10 feet, and that was actually what I was going to bring up. I'm trying to look up beholder tentacles, but one of the things I found is that beholders can retract their tentacles in their body, but they can lash out really far.
They
So
can.
maybe you could do an increased range.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. It's going
stretchy.
to do 15 feet instead of 10 feet.
Let me write this down.
Now, the cost of that sort of thing, it does make it more expensive. To do all these things, it's going to cost in total 1,650 gold.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to commission that?
Yes.
Okay. So then he agrees to work on it. He does have some people who can who work for him. He's not the only person who enchants things. So so far, your commissions in total are going to take about 6 days for the things
Cool.
you've asked for so far.
And then the other thing I wanted to see if he knew someone to do the hidden blade, but instead of a dagger, I want to see about using Shadowfire's tusk as the actual blade.
I don't know if that's really sweet or kind of horrific.
I think it's awesome.
So while someone does exist who can do this, I've told you about 1,000 times that he lives in Morag.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got the name confused on the town. I'm sorry.
It's okay because the reason I bring this up, he lives in Morag. His name is Fuckleral, and he is in the Dowrin Empire. He's an established canon character. However, because I knew you wanted this thing so bad, I actually sent an artificer to live in your town for a little while, who probably could have commissioned that for you. So while no, this guy won't make that for you, that guy probably will. And yes, if you want to use if you want to use the tusk of Shadowfire to make a blade, I mean, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. I'm just telling you,
No, it's just supposed to be a nice little sentimental that he's with me. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I'm just trying to figure out. So, do you want it like the ivory as like a signature piece on it, like it's a polished stone that's inset into it? Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, it's just supposed to be it's more of a decoration type thing. If it gets used once, awesome. If it doesn't get ever used, it's just supposed to be a decoration type thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So for a second, I thought you were asking to use the tusk as the blade. So I was like, what? But yeah, absolutely. You can have that commissioned by the artificer that's there to question you all, and he will question you at some point whenever you come back to Coltrast. The hidden blade cost 2,500 gold to make.
Okay, I'll have to hold off on that then.
How much are you off?
Just shy of 400.
I can give you that when you come back. Let's say I sent them with like most of my money.
Sure, why not?
Okay, I give you 400.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take too long on this. That's actually why I sent the artificer to come question you all.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want you to trek like a month's journey over to Morag. So I'm just trying to, since I know you
also,
want this, I'm trying to make
I named the whip Dreamer's Scourge.
Dreamer's Scourge.
Yes.
I like it.
Because Scourge is also a name for a whip.
Scourge? Okay, Scourge.
It's SCOURGE.
Okay.
Scourge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Scourge.
Scourge is right.
Yeah.
According to the pronunciation.
While I'm in Northimia waiting for my enchantment thing to go, could I find like some sort of artist that can do cards?
Yeah, you probably can. I don't see why not.
Right.
Like tarot cards you're trying to get?
Yeah, tarot cards. So I have a specific thing I want it to be, so that I can do a specific spell with it as well.
Okay.
So I want like a very basic tarot deck at just for the base design of it. So all of that stuff. But I want like randomly each card to be marked as either wheel, woe, or neither. And I want the whole thing to cost 25 gold.
So it dictates the price.
You know what? Go ahead and make a persuasion check to try to see if you can get that price. If you beat a 16, you get it.
Well, isn't the thing with magic components that it had like the materials of it have to cost 25 gold, not what you spend for it?
This is a spell component?
Yeah, for augury.
Okay.
Yes. Posted it in the chat. He just wants to use his tarot deck as the component
Gotcha. Okay.
because it
now,
says you can use similar tokens or whatever.
yeah, absolutely. You could get a set of tarot cards painted and made for you that's worth 25 gold pieces. I don't see why not.
All right. And add that. And then that'll also be for my Bardship class, so that's cool.
There you go. So Willow, for the hidden blade that you wanted to have commissioned when you get back to Coltrast, what was I going to say? Okay, the blade, he gives it to you with 2 attachments. One of them is simply a dagger attachment. When you put your wrist backwards, a blade shoots out. Okay, it does 1d4 damage. It's your base dagger. The second attachment is more like a syringe. It's long and thin and hollow, and on the bottom of it, it has a little chamber attachment that he explains to you that you can attach vials of poison to. The needle itself only does 1 piercing damage, 1 single piercing damage, but it will also inject whatever poison you have into that. So it's kind of like an instant poison shot. Reloading it is a bonus action when it's in that form.
Yeah.
So you can put that on your character sheet.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to lose a finger for it.
That's true. Now, is there anything anyone else is wanting while you're still in Northimia?
I was curious. I don't know how this works and all, but I found there's a thing called a vicious quarterstaff. Am I able to turn my mithril +2 quarterstaff into a vicious mithril +2 quarterstaff?
Now, the vicious one is the one that if you do a critical, it does extra damage. Is that what I'm remembering?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you roll a 20, they get an extra 2d6 of bludgeoning damage. So, like, I know I'm not gonna probably, get that benefit often, but
it'll be intense.
Yeah, the vicious property is actually really freaking cheap. Now, it does cost a little bit more because it's already a +2 quarterstaff, so it's pretty well enchanted. But to add the vicious quality to it would be a total of 500 gold.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm doing it.
Yeah, you can add the vicious quality to your quarterstaff. And I can't remember how much damage does it extra, like 2d8 maybe?
2d6,
2d6.
I believe.
2d6. So then how would I add that onto my thing?
I think I'm actually going to have to drag a vicious quarterstaff onto your sheet and then give it the +2 quality.
Okay, I'll let you do that then.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know really if... Are there any cool, like, magic brass knuckles or anything? Because I was looking for that and I can't find any... I can't find much
brass knuckles.
Yeah, brass knuckles don't exist in modern D&D. This is just something we homebrewed, you and I together. And it was just to give it a +1 quality. Like what... You've already heard that they can enchant things with different elemental properties. So if you want an elemental property attached to your knuckle, you would use that weapon instead to make your attacks, but it would, on a hit, it would do that element's damage. Now, is that something you're wanting?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's not a whole lot for monks.
There isn't, other than those couple items that you showed me.
Yeah, but like a lot of those are like you've said that are going to be things they have to find or go on a quest
the
for.
one that's like very rare, yes, you absolutely would. That super rare freaking scroll thing, that's a find on a quest kind of item. But since you want it, I will put it out there for you.
Also, there is a good amount of stuff for monks. You just have it all already.
Yeah, you really do.
You
like,
really are loaded up.
You really are loaded up. Like I said, oh, by the way, I should mention, Ichabod, that the weapon, the moon-touched radiant sword of yours now, it is an attunement slot.
But also, the Scourge is not, right?
The Scourge is not, no.
Okay, and you said that does 2d4 instead of 1d8?
2d4 instead of 1d8. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're guaranteed to
damage.
I sent you a text for it's a dragon armlets. Is that something that they would be able to do? And if so, how much would that be?
Oh, that's actually an interesting item. It is a rare item, so it's going to be on the more costly side. It would probably be 5,000 gold for that.
Do it. I put it in the game chat too, so all y'all can see.
Do you have an attunement slot for that?
Possibly. I don't know.
You've only got 3.
Yeah, you only have 3 attunement slots. Your bracers of defense are definitely attunement. I know that.
But see, hold on.
If we sell the brooch of shielding, because that's what I'll have to replace for my attunement slot.
Yes.
I figure we might as well get that out of the way.
One second. Okay, the vicious edition is not an attunement slot, just so you know. So your quarterstaff still is not an attunement slot.
Okay, so far then I know that my belt of ivory mastery is attunement. Bracers of defense, you said, is attunement. Mm-hmm. Are the goggles of night attunement?
They are not.
Then yeah, I do have I'm assuming brass knuckles are not attunement.
The brass knuckles weren't, no, but they would be if you made them. If you add an elemental ability to it.
Oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do these dragon armlets.
The brooch of shielding, you could sell for 3,000 gold.
Sweet. So we can sell that and split it amongst everybody.
Sure. 3,000. And everybody gets an extra 600.
Does anybody else have something they want?
And I am going to go ahead and get those dragon armlets.
You are going to get the dragon armlets?
Yeah, that'll make me max attunements, but that's okay, because I mean, what's the chances of me finding something else?
Yeah. Unless you want boots of flying.
I'm good.
She has this thing with boots of flying.
Oh.
Anyway, if nobody else can think of anything they want to commission or order at the time, that'll probably be... Yeah?
How much would a gem of seeing cost? It's in the Dungeons Master Guide. It's a rare item.
25,600 gold.
25,600.
Yikers.
What the hell is that?
What?
What does it do?
Recharges. Command word. For the next 10 minutes, you have true sight out to 120 feet when you peer through the gem. Regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. No
Yeah.
attunement.
That's a cool
That's a
item.
pigment.
I can see why it costs 25,000 gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how much. Just to tell myself I definitely cannot have it yet.
Okay.
Unless I steal all my magic items right now.
I can feel the power surging through me.
Okay. So everyone, make sure you take that gold off your character sheets. Your items will be done in about a week. When we come back next session, we're going to start things off with Ichabod, finishing up his search for his wife in Port Suliard. Shokan, I still have something for you to do. Or Caia, I still have something for you to do. Willow, I still have something for you to do. Blaznir, you've never given me something for you to do, so we'll talk about that this week.
I don't know what I want to do.
But apart from that, we're going to go ahead and end things for this evening. So thank you to everyone who is watching. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We will be back next week at 3 o'clock to find out how the Debauchery Circus finish up their downtime activities and see whatever the other shenanigans they can get to, knowing that that artificer is still in town and still has some questions for at least a few of them. So, thank you once again for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.